And we're joined now by foreign policy expert Harley Lippman. He's a distinguished alum of Columbia University and a renowned expert in Israeli foreign policy. Harley, thank you so much for joining us here on Scripps News Weekend. So today, the IDF continues its relentless assault against Hezbollah, making that big announcement that it has killed yet another senior leader. This as we're also hearing that they may launch a small-scale ground invasion into Lebanon. Is it just a matter of time before we see Hezbollah or another Iranian proxy or Iran directly engage Israel in return?
There's always the risk that Iran could try to show solidarity with Hezbollah and attack Israel. But I think that's unlikely for a few reasons. One is I think Iran is not interested at all and is not prepared to take a risk for an all-out war with Israel. They may think that if they attack Israel, Israel's response will be limited, maybe, or it could be an opportunity for Israel to take out the nuclear reactors or hit some of Iran's infrastructure like oil facilities. So I think that Iran is less likely to join in. Second reason is Iran has always viewed Lebanon and rather Hezbollah as their insurance to prevent an Israeli attack on Iran's nuclear facilities. They feel this is kind of a blackmail they have against Israel, that if Israel launches an attack on Iran, Iran will unleash the Hezbollah's rockets, where they have probably the largest army in the world outside of conventional forces like the Army of England. But outside of that, they have probably the single largest military group. And while their command and control center has been badly disrupted and badly destroyed, over time they will regroup, they will have younger leaders to fill the position. Just won't have the experience to be able to go forward and be as effective as the leaders were who were assassinated.
So do you feel at this point that we are only going to continue to see what we've been observing over the last, week and several days of these pinpointed strikes and attacks and kind of an exchange of rocket fire? Or do you expect an escalation in this conflict, a significant one in the coming days?
Well, here's what this comes down to. This action was heavily driven by internal Israeli politics. A lot of people don't see that. But I want to just go back and give a little quick history for your viewers to show context. On October 8th, Hezbollah attacked Israel. Israel did not attack Hezbollah first. It was Hezbollah attacked Israel. And I think this is important because we have to understand who's doing what. When you speak about a ceasefire, it implies a moral equivalent, as if two people are fighting like two kids and you have to separate them and they're both wrong. This is not like that. This is a group that has stated they want to destroy Israel. And look at what the consequences are. Israel had to evacuate about 80,000 of its people in northern Israel. These homes are ghost towns. And for the last year, these people have been living with families in one-bedroom hotel rooms. They've been staying with friends, which is a cause of a lot of tension. How long you could stay? Can you stay with a friend for weeks, months? It gets a bit dicey. And they want to come back to their homes. So these people have been putting huge pressure on Bibi Netanyahu and the government. And that, more than anything, is really action now. They think, the IDF thinks they may have after October 7th and evacuating all the Israeli civilians in northern Israel. Why? Because at that time they thought that what Hamas did in Gaza by attacking Israeli towns and kibbutzes and committing rape and murder, could do that in northern Israel and copy it. So that's why what happens after that? What do you do with them? So that's really the context of what's going on here. Now, to your good question as to where this leads to, Israel just wants Hezbollah in Lebanon to accept UN Resolution 1701, which was passed after the last war in Lebanon, which requires Hezbollah to go north of the Litani River. That gives Israel a buffer so they feel their northern communities could be safe. And everybody signed on to that agreement, even Hezbollah. but it was never enforced, and they've been in southern Lebanon, right on the border with Israel, firing rockets. So I think you could end this conflict in one day if Hezbollah just honors UN Resolution 1701 and stops firing rockets. Israel's only goal is that Hezbollah stop firing rockets into Israel.
As you said, could be ended in one day, but with such, diametrically opposed sides, a tall order, no doubt. Harley Lippman, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.